I've had to really start to build a purposeful life and business by actually asking God, what am I good at? What giftings do I have? What do people come to me for all the time, right? A lot of my friends come to me for truth. They come to me for inspiration. They come to me for strategy. So I know that I'm amazing at those things. But you have to try to really start to combine your body, your mind, your spirit. Make sure they're not misaligned. The world tells you hustle, 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 and God says rest in me. Now that doesn't mean that you don't hustle, but what it does mean is that he's first. So make God your CEO, you become the COO, okay? And then you start to strategize with God every morning. And what I mean by that is prayer, peace, being in his word, meditating on it, loving on God and loving on others. Because at the end of the day, Sheila, we are here to serve others.
Welcome to Sheila's Take, your go-to podcast for thoughtful insights on love, faith, health, fitness, relationships, and navigating today's challenges through a spiritual perspective. Join me, Sheila Dunbar, as we explore various aspects of life with a mindful and godly approach. Tune in for engaging discussions on all things meaningful and transformative. Welcome back to Sheila's Take. And today, I have a really exceptional guest, Neena Perez. She is a transformational coach, an author, and a motivational speaker who is passionate about helping women step boldly into entrepreneurship and create impactful coaching businesses using their wisdom, their skills, and their God-given talents. With a deeply personal journey marked by overcoming abuse, teen pregnancy, domestic violence, divorce, and poverty, Neena has transformed her life through faith and resilience. Her inspiring story is captured in her autobiography, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where she shares the hard-earned lessons that now fuel her mission to empower others. Neena is also a sought-after speaker known for her candid, no-nonsense approach to personal growth and business success. She brings a unique blend of empathy, tough love, and real-world wisdom to every stage, every podcast, every workshop, leaving audiences inspired and ready to take action. So please join me in welcoming Neena Perez to Sheila's Take. How are you, Neena?
I am so great. I am so blessed to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
I love to have guests like you who come with their real life stories. You want to help other people with your journeys. Can you just share a little bit more about how your personal struggles shaped your mission to help other women?
Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to get there because a lot of times you stay stuck in a victim mentality, right? So, yeah, so I was born in Connecticut, and my mom and dad were actually married to two different people. They had an affair, and that was me.
Okay.
Surprise. So my father didn't claim me. I think my mother kind of maybe disliked me because I caused her a lot of pain being born in a, she was married to someone who couldn't have children. All of a sudden she was pregnant. He tried to kill her while she was pregnant with me,
Oh.
like the whole thing. But then growing up, I had a stepfather that she was with that, I thought was like a dad to me, was a dad to me. And then around 6 years old, started molesting me. And then, from all that pain and suffering, I got into dating too young. I was like 13 years old when I found my first boyfriend. He was 17. A horrible domestic violent relationship. He almost murdered me.
At what? At 13 or 17?
No, I was at this point I was almost 18 when he
Oh,
tried to kill
wow.
me.
Okay.
But he was, I think he tried to kill me before then, but this was the time he put the gun to my head and pulled the trigger. So then you can tell he really wanted to kill me. Yeah, and it was God that I know now that it was God that intervened because when he pulled the trigger, the safety got jammed on the gun, and that's why I'm sitting here today. And I had a son at 14 years old, so I was a teen mom getting out of middle school and going into high school. I can't even believe when I say it that I went through that. But I've been through homelessness and, of course, the domestic violence, and I was married before and divorced, and all the things like life gave me a lot of amazing opportunities
Yeah.
to grow and to expand. Before I used to be a victim of it though, Sheila. I was very, very much depressed and anxious and, woe is me. And that was just me for a very long time. And it wasn't until I found Jesus that
Mm-hmm.
my life shifted, right? And so giving him everything and following him and obeying him and fighting with him and all the things that you do with God,
Yes,
right?
yes. People don't believe that, and they like, oh, you're supposed
Absolutely.
to walk around a certain way, but yeah, there's some. Trust me, I've been through that phase.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through that phase.
Mm-hmm. And depression, if we think about it, right? Depression is to be pressed down. And I think that the reason that we become depressed in our lives, and this is, I'm not a doctor or scientist or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, but I really believe it's a way for us. I believe that God is trying to bring it forward and we just keep pushing it down. And then we become depressed because God is saying, no, we're going to deal with this so the enemy doesn't keep using this in your life so that you can overcome, so he can stop grooming you to destroy yourself. And so we're going to deal with it. And I'm like, no, 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 we're not going to deal with that. So I'm just going to ignore it and do what women do. We end up taking care of the family, taking care of
Mm-hmm.
the kids, taking care
Yeah.
of the house, working really hard, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever the thing is
Mm-hmm.
that we do to ignore the pain that we're going through, the suffering that's inside of us, the dealing with the stuff that we have to feel to heal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't
That's
want
right.
to. So we just ignore because we're strong. We're strong women. We could do it.
We can do
Mhm.
it. That's what
Until
we're
we
here
can't.
for. Yeah,
Until
until
we
we
can't,
can.
Sheila.
And then the sad part is, Nina, when we can't, it's like we just shut down, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're on the last bit, that last little piece, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like you've given everything.
I think
Yeah.
it's grabbing the hem of his garment, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like the woman with the issue of blood. Like, how long? She didn't have anything else. She's like, you know what? I don't have nothing. If I
Yep.
can grab the hem,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'll say that to God. I'm like, God, I feel like I am grabbing your hem right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But that's just, I think we went on a tangent, or I went on a tangent, but that's me in a little nutshell there.
It's all right.
That's
It's all
just,
right. It's all right. In your book, Hit Me
Mhm.
With Your Best Shot, which I'm going to tell you is one of my favorite Pat Benatar songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God is
But
good.
you talk incredibly about your past. Was it difficult to share those stories, and
Mm.
what
Mm.
made you decide to put them out there?
You know what? I always say, tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what made me tell the truth
Yeah.
because for a long time I lived in shame, a lot of shame. And my stepfather molesting me and my
Mm-hmm.
ex trying to kill me and he
Yeah.
raped me and beat
Yeah.
me and all the things. And I'm like, wait a minute. One time I'm like in scripture and I'm like, God, show me what the shame is and
Mm-hmm.
why am I carrying this shame and I realized that there are different parts of shame. And so there's the shame of we should be ashamed if we do something wrong, Sheila. If I go to your house and I steal something from you, I should feel shame
Yes.
because
Yes.
shame is supposed to redirect your walk and your direction of
Mm-hmm.
wherever you're going. So if I stole from you and I feel shame, I should come back, ask for forgiveness, and change my ways. That's
Right.
what shame is supposed to be for. Then there's that shame that belongs to someone else that we decided was ours.
And we're going to
Like,
put on ourselves. We're going
yeah,
to carry it.
exactly.
Yep.
My stepfather molested me as a child. That's his shame.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to carry that. That's
Yes.
not on me. But for a long time, I carried it. So we have to start right sizing the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like he is not as big as God. And we got to start right
Yeah.
sizing his
Yeah.
behind because we start destroying ourselves. And it wasn't until recently, actually, I was crying to God and saying, God, I have, I'm now on a health journey. I have, weight to lose and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is happening here? Like, why is it that I do good and then I sabotage? I do good and then I
Mm-hmm.
sabotage. Like, what's
Yeah.
up with that,
Yeah.
God? And then, as I'm praying and meditating on the word and praying, God takes me back to this vision of me as a little girl and I'm sitting under the table and I'm eating spoonfuls of sugar. And I didn't even remember doing this, but when he showed it to me, I'm like, oh yeah, because that was my comfort, Sheila. When my
Ooh.
stepfather would molest me, I would go and eat sugar because sugar, I didn't know it as a child, but it brings your endorphins out in your brain,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was my comfort food. And that has stayed. my comfort addiction forever. I'm 53 now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 53, right? So I'm like, God, I didn't know that. He shows me that. And then he shows me the enemy standing there laughing and saying, I am grooming you to destroy yourself.
Mm,
And I'm like,
mhm.
wait a
Wow.
minute. Like we can
That's
blame the
powerful.
enemy as
Yeah.
much as we want, but the truth is he definitely gives you the environment to destroy you, but
Mm-hmm.
you end up taking the baton and
Yeah.
destroying
And doing
yourself,
it. Yep. We I
you
think
know?
I think we give the devil too much credit.
Way too much
You
credit.
know,
Yes.
we give him too much credit and think
Hmm.
that he
He's always
really
in our mouth. He's
yeah,
always in our
you
mouth.
know?
Like, when you speak about something way too much, you give it life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I think about like this game I used to play when I was a kid. Like me and my brother would talk to each other, and then my other little brother who was annoying would come and like try to bother us. And I'm like, "Do you hear something?" My brother would go, "No, do you?" "Nope, I don't." And we would go like that. And our little brother's like sitting here screaming and yelling. And the truth is that's how we need to be. Let's have that conversation with God.
Mm-hmm.
Let the
Yeah.
enemy talk all his nonsense, but you stay focused
That's
here.
right. That's right.
Then all his nonsense, he'll get tired and he'll go away. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to bother
That's
with him.
right. That's right.
Hmm.
Faith seems to be the cornerstone in your transformation,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
How does that spiritually factor into your coaching approach?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually challenge their belief system,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to reframe your past wounds, reframe the things that you have gone through. What is God showing you through this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Instead of the why me, woe is me, I can't, because this was me, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everything was like, why did this happen to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? Because life is life. Life is life. The world is the world, but you are God's. Right. So what is he showing you? Because when I started right sizing the enemy and realizing that God is in control and not the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
I started to realize that all those things that happened to me, not that God wanted them to happen, but God allowed it for a reason. And the reason he allowed it is because now I have women that I actually empower, and women that I actually have in my coaching business or when I go to my talks or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that have shifted now the way they think in their life because
Yeah.
of something that
Yeah.
God has used that was supposed to destroy me. He
Mm-hmm.
used God uses it to build me up. And so that's how I use it. I reframe what they're thinking of themselves, because too many times women don't think they're good enough, big enough,
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
enough, thin enough,
Yeah.
whatever the enough is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we need to start anchoring ourselves into scripture, into God,
Mm-hmm.
and to knowing that he is doing a new thing and all those old things have passed away. So let it
Go.
go.
Let it go.
Let it
Let it
go.
go. Yeah. I believe that for a long time, I had like a lot of issues with what I look like, how I acted, certain things. And like you said, I had to let it go and say, you know what? I'm not going to be like what society wants me to be.
Mhm, mhm.
That's not what's important. What's important is how God looks at me, how I am as a person, And I realize that everything that we go through is what do they say? Every test is what? A
A
testimony,
testimony, that's right.
right? So there are things that we may not want to go through, or we feel like my husband and I, we went through something, and it, I was so angry. I
Yeah.
was so angry with God.
Mhm,
I was
mhm.
so angry with God. I'm like, God, why? But though I was angry, I never turned my back.
Yeah, same.
And because I know that's my father. Just
Mhm.
like you get angry with your kids get angry with you. That's still your parent. He knows what's best for you.
Yeah, yeah,
And the outcome,
exactly.
I know, the outcome was this was best for us. He was
Mhm.
preparing us for a time as what we are in now.
Right.
So I truly believe that everything that we go through is for a reason
Mhm.
or a season or purpose.
I believe that too. I really do, because healing is not about erasing, right? But it's about integrating it
Mm-hmm.
into your
Yes.
testimony, right? God is not going to waste your pain. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to repurpose it. And I think
Exactly.
that's something that I try to always keep in the forefront of my mind when I'm going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, just to give a little testimony, like me and my husband were like struggling with some financial stuff. And I was like, okay, what are we going to do? Because you have to get this car. My contracts don't start until another, like, I think it was like 3 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? Right. So we were stressed. And finally, we just decided, why don't we just tell God what we need? He already knows. Why don't we just say it and then believe God for it?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are we doing anyway?
Yeah.
Right. So we did that. So we started praying and asking God and thanking him in advance for whatever it is he
Mm-hmm.
decides to do. And my husband's car broke down and he didn't have a car. Like, it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then what does he do? God just ends up bringing someone who just says, I've been praying and you've been on my mind and heart, and God told me to do this, and he gives us a check that covers buying the car.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
I'm like,
Praise
wait a
God.
minute,
Look
let
at
me put
that.
my glasses on. What I just see? I just
Sometimes it's
see.
like, wait a
Wait a
second.
minute. Where's it? Is this
What is that?
what's going
What's
on?
going on right there?
And it's those things, it's
Yeah.
those moments that make you realize that nothing that you're going through is wasted.
Yeah.
God has your back, your front, your side, your forward, your up, your down. He got you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that
Mhm.
that brings healing within itself, because you start to realize that taking these small steps, just getting up every day with gratitude on your heart and taking small steps instead of waiting for whatever the thing is that you're waiting for the world
Mhm.
to change or whatever circumstances, whatever, it's not going to. God is already going to utilize whatever you're going through
That's right.
to help you get through. And I think conversations like this are also super important,
Mm-hmm.
because someone will listen, and I don't care if it's just one person, someone will listen where they'll go, huh, let me
Yeah.
shift the way I think.
Yes.
That's why podcasts to me are powerful, because you
Mm-hmm.
get your voice out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about your Wisdom to Wealth program.
Hmm.
First of all, tell us a little bit about it,
Sure.
you
It's,
know,
mhm.
and yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
Wisdom to Wealth is my pilot program. I have a program also called Purpose by Design. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, what it is walking in faith, right? So wisdom is really an acronym. It's walking in faith. I is identifying your strengths in your story. S is shifting your mindset. D is designing your
Mm.
purpose aligned vision. O is overcoming fear with action. M is to multiply your impact. And that's what it's about. It's about shifting your belief system, reconnecting with what it
Yeah.
is you want to connect with instead of what the world told you to connect with. It's transitioning those mindset things, the identity gaps. Who am I? Where am I? What do I have? Where does God fit into this? What does he want me to do? Like, all of those things. And then I have an entire team. Because most of the women that come to me want to build out their own coaching businesses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so we go through all the, like, inner pieces, the inner healing, the all that kind of stuff. But then we also strategize. What's your lean business plan? What's your framework? What do you want to teach? How are you bringing it to the world? And my team then comes in and does all of the back end for you. So they do
Mm-hmm.
all the marketing, the automation, the building your funnels, the blah, blah, blah. So it's a whole system. But really, I just want women to understand their greatness and heal and to move past all of the crap, because you have one life,
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
one, and it is fleeing fast. Just like God said, we are vapors in the wind,
Mm-hmm.
and we are wasting too much time in fear, wasting too much time not thinking we're good enough, like all
Yes.
of the lies of the enemy, right? It's time.
Yeah.
It's
You
time.
you are so like, you know, you are so speaking to me because that is one of the things that stops me. Well, I'm not gonna let me put it this way. Stopped me in the past from wanting to do a lot of things,
Me
and
too.
even this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Fear. What
Fear,
I look
such a
like,
liar.
people, it is,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
my faith has to be stronger than my fear. I have a T-shirt that
Mm-hmm.
I walk around with.
Mm-hmm.
Make faith over fear. My faith has to be stronger than my fear.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and I can only imagine what you see when you're trying to help these women build their businesses. Like, what typically do you see holds women back from turning like their talents into thriving businesses?
Mm-hmm. They think that fear is a stop sign.
Yeah.
They think that fear is, oh, that must be a bad thing. No, actually, it's a signpost. It's telling you something's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because God often calls us out of our comfort zone, right? Because purpose doesn't live where fear lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fear tells you to stay put, purpose tells you to move,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
That's
so
right.
we have to start um, naming that, getting honest, right? This is your pruning season. All of us are going to go through it. You are going to suck when you first start, right? And I think if you know that, if you know
Yeah.
you suck,
Yeah.
then you know everybody sucked when they first started, right? Stop trying to be perfect,
I
because that's the
know. I
other
know.
side of fear,
Yes.
right? Is
Yes.
trying to be perfect. Perfect with what? You ain't perfect at nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the older you get, the more you realize you know nothing,
Nothing.
nothing, nothing at all. So shift the narrative.
And just
Instead of
constantly
I
learning.
failed, I learned.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
a failure is to me feedback.
Yeah.
And I have an acronym for that too, because fear is face and eliminate all restrictions. You
Ooh.
know, so as soon as you see something, say, okay, I'm afraid of this. Hold on. Let me face it. What is this
Mm-hmm.
thing? Let me really look at how do I eliminate this, right? And what restrictions is this causing me? So face and eliminate all restrictions, because
Face
you
and
have a
eliminate
purpose.
all restrictions. I like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. You have a choice, you know, and you have a choice to make here, whether or not you are going to do what your field you're called to do. And by the way, you may get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You may think that that is exactly what you're called to do,
That's
and
right.
you may get it completely wrong. Okay,
Mm, yeah.
good, because now you know what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I
Yeah.
used to be so afraid of failure. I climbed the ladder in corporate. I did all
Mm-hmm.
the things. I was the best, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized I was so unhappy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
unhappy, because God kept saying, because I'm a chef by trade, right? So I've been
Mm-hmm.
executive chef for years. And
Mm-hmm.
God is taking me now right back into a journey of going back where he took me in the beginning, which was actually doing cooking videos and talking to people about life and purpose and all of that stuff. So I'm launching a new program, or a new channel called the Purpose Filled Kitchen.
Okay.
And you know, that's where I jam. Why am I running away from that,
Yeah.
Sheila? You
Yeah.
know, I,
Yeah.
I ran
Yeah.
away from it for years, and God goes, well, go back on. Like, why do we
And
do
he'll and,
that?
and he'll make you do it. You
Yeah.
know, you
Oh,
can
he
run
sure.
like who was the man in the Bible that got stuck in the world? Jonah. You can
Mhm.
run, and he's gonna make
He
you.
send a whale, for
He's in a
goodness
well.
sakes. But also think about, like, when the Israelites left Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
they could have done that trip in 11 days, and it took them
Days.
40 years.
Yes.
And that's how I feel. Like he's been telling me for a long time to do this, and I
Yeah.
did it for a little bit, then I stopped, and I did it for a little bit, then I
Mm-hmm.
stopped. And God is like, hello,
Yeah.
hey Neen,
Yeah.
yeah,
Come on, you
I
got
I
you got
rule the world. You go
yeah.
this way. I'm like, okay, God, I'm sorry about that.
So Nita, many of our listeners might be stuck thinking about starting a business.
Mm.
What's one piece of advice you'd give someone who's afraid to take that first step?
Yeah. You know, I think the first thing is to try to see what your foundations are, right? So if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to get practical, I want you to sit down with yourself and ask yourself what you are actually really, really good at. And I don't mean just work stuff. I mean
Mm-hmm.
also in your life, right? So what giftings does God has given you? Are you a good teacher? Are you a good listener? Are you, you know, somebody who crochets or sews or whatever? I don't care what it
Mm-hmm.
is, because everything is monetizable.
Yeah.
So just think about what it is you're actually really good at, and don't play yourself small. Like, don't think that, oh, wait, I know how to do Microsoft Excel. I'm just throwing something out
Mm-hmm.
there. Microsoft Excel, everybody knows that. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. You know, so I think we need to stop really playing ourselves small and start building a life of purpose. And what
Yeah.
that means is what is it that you want to bring to the world, and where do you think God lies in that? Because to me, I feel like God designed me for a reason, and I need to find that design, or the world will tell me what I'm designed
Mm.
for,
Yes.
right? And so I've had to do that. I've had to really start to build a purposeful life and business by actually asking God, what am I good at? What giftings do I
Yeah.
have? What do people come to me for all the time, right? A lot of my friends come to me for truth. They come to me for inspiration. They come to me for strategy. So I know that I'm amazing at those things.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to try to, really start to combine your body, your mind, your spirit.
Yeah.
Make sure they're not misaligned. right? Because the
Mm-hmm.
world tells
Yes.
you hustle, hustle, hustle,
Mm-hmm.
and God says rest in me. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't hustle, but what it does mean is that He's first. So make God your CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you become the
Come on.
COO.
Come on.
Okay, and then you start to strategize with God every morning. And what I mean by that is prayer, peace, being in His Word, meditating on it, loving on God and loving on others. Because at the end of the day, Sheila, we are here to serve others. We have to
Mm-hmm.
serve God, serve others. I promise you, He will tell you what it is that you are supposed to do. I
Woo.
promise you.
You
Yes.
I paid a lot of money for this mic, but after what you just said, that's a mic drop right there, you know? You know, that's a mic drop right there.
Oh my gosh.
But what's been the most rewarding part of watching the women you coach transform their
Mm,
lives?
mm. I think the most rewarding thing is the impact that they have made in their life, in their families directly, but then
Mm-hmm.
watching them go actually out there and do something they told me in the beginning they could never do. Right? Because a lot of women come to me, and they'll say, I want to start a business. I really want to start it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I'm smart enough. Oh, you don't? Yeah. Okay. So since you're not smart enough, and they're like, wait a minute. I'm like, but that's what you just said. You're not smart enough. So like, and they're like, because
Mm-hmm.
you are smart enough. Let's start talking about that, right? And so when I start to work with them and they start to see their greatness, and also here's another thing. Here's another thing for y'all women out here who are hustling and running.
Woo.
Give yourself permission to pause. I think we
Come
have
on.
been in a man's world for so long
Yeah.
that we think that when we're exhausted, keep going. When we're,
Mm-hmm.
mentally drained, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going, keep
Yeah.
going. And then when you hit a wall, you start thinking, I'm
You
not good
burn
enough.
out.
I'm not smart
Yeah.
enough. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The burnout,
The
right?
burnout.
And the truth is if you're burning out, you are not spending enough time with God
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
He is your rest. And He
That's
says
right.
that, come to me, all who are worried, wearied,
Weary and I will give you rest.
and I will give you rest.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are burnt out, you have to spiritually align yourself. You are not aligned. Something's off,
Ooh.
right? And it might be your ego. You might think you need that money. You might need that
Yeah.
big house and the cars and the
Mhm.
whatever the thing is that the world has told you is the thing you're supposed to go after.
Yeah.
Stop. God is your provider, not the
Mhm.
world,
That's
right?
right.
So put
That's
your
right.
priorities in order and you're going to thrive. And that's what's happened with the women in my group. They are thriving because they realized, especially like women who came to me and were like, but Nina, I want to shift. I don't really want to do it this way. I want to do it this way.
Mhm.
But I'm moving and my kid's going to college and I said, okay, so why don't we just pause? They're like, oh, we could do that.
We could do that.
Yes. I'm like, permission
Of
granted,
course you can
you know?
pause. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But what happens in the pause? They started praying more, spending
Mhm.
time with God more, less hustle, and now they're on clarity road and
Yeah.
off they go.
Yes.
Right? That's what makes me feel
Mm-hmm.
good. It's not and not necessarily them making 10K months and all that. That's all good stuff. But what really I love is these women knowing who they are and taking that moment to pause for themselves so they can really refresh themselves in God. That's what I love. That's my thing.
That's your
Yeah,
thing.
that's my thing.
Ooh. All right, Nina. So it's time for the lightning round.
Oh, here we go.
you
Here we go.
know, quick answers. First thing that comes to mind. Ready?
Okay, got it.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee.
Ah. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Ooh, really? Oh, okay.
Mm.
Favorite motivational quote?
Ooh, I don't really know if I have one. I know that I have. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Okay, okay. That's a good one.
Mhm.
That's a scripture. You can't
Yeah.
go wrong with that. Okay. Name one book everyone should read besides yours.
Oh, the body keeps the score.
Okay. The body keeps the score. I'm going to write that down.
Yes.
The body keeps the score. Okay. Um, best piece of business advice you ever received.
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about this. Oh, I think the best one I received is to be the CEO of your own life.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's a good one. Self care ritual you can't live without.
Gratitude.
Mm. Biggest misconception about entrepreneurship.
It's easy.
Yeah, I heard that. Um, dream vacation spot.
Oh, I want to go to oh my gosh, I forgot the Maldives. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to have a hut over the water. You ever seen those?
Yes,
Yes,
those
I
are
want to do that.
beautiful. I
I
mean, I
know.
think I'd be terrified because I can't swim, and I'd
I
be,
can't swim either, but I still want to do it.
what's your what's your power song that gets you pumped up?
Oh, a power song.
Mhm.
A power song. Oh, that's a good question. Uh, I don't know. I don't know because I love all kinds of music, so I listen to so many different things.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to get
Oh,
back to you.
oh, okay. All right. Get back to me on that one.
Okay.
All right. Fill in the blank. Success to me means.
Um, Success to me means a successful family.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Happiness, make, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Content, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I thank you. That was it, but I do have
Okay.
another question that I always ask. My
Sure.
final question. What are you grateful for?
Oh, I'm always the person who is grateful for the moments. So like this moment right now, Sheila, I'm very grateful for.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I feel like we are not promised tomorrow and I can
Mhm.
walk off this set right now and just die. And
Yeah.
so I try to be very grateful for the moments.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm grateful for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Of
much. I'm
course.
grateful for you. I'm telling you, I love this conversation, Nina.
Me too. Me too.
Now,
Oh,
before
celebrate. That's the song.
celebrate. Okay.
Celebrate
Celebrate
good
the
times.
times.
Come
Come
on.
on. We
Yeah.
don't know the music, but yeah. Don't come after me,
Oh,
Mr.
I know.
Music
My
Gang.
gosh. I know. You got to be careful with everything now. Hmm.
But before we wrap up, where can my listeners and my viewers find you and learn more about you and your program? Can we get your handles, your website, all of that information?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. Go on to neenaperez.com. So it's NEENA.com. So Neena Perez. And really you can find me anywhere. If you put Neena Perez anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, it doesn't matter. You'll find it. I have a podcast called Straight Talk No Sugar Added. Would you like to
Ooh.
be on there? I'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Straight Talk No Sugar Added, and it's doing really, really well. So you'll find me on either one of those handles, Neena
Okay.
Perez or Straight Talk No Sugar Added.
Straight to, and I'm going to make sure that I have all your information in the show notes.
Yes.
So please, I'll get them. I think I have them in your email. If not, I'll pick them up from your websites. But I'll make sure that all this information is in the show notes so that you can be contacted and help some other women start some amazing
Yes.
businesses.
Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Nina, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your journey today. Your story is so powerful and such a reminder that our past does not define our future.
No,
You
it
know,
doesn't.
and that with faith and determination and the right guidance, we can transform our challenges into stepping stones for success.
Thank
Right?
you for having me. This is a
I
beautiful space. Thank you.
To my listeners, if Nina's words resonated with you today, I encourage you to check out her Wisdom to Wealth program and her book, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And if you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to rate and share with someone who might need to hear this message. Until next time, this is Sheila Dunbar reminding you to stay authentic, embrace your journey, and keep taking bold steps toward the life you deserve. Be blessed. Until next time, remember to embrace the journey, build lasting connections, and step boldly into all that life has in store for you. I'm your host, Sheila Dunbar. Blessings to you.